I now give the floor to...
All right. got all the bugs out on that one. Hit all the limbs on the tree on the way down. Welcome, finally, and with multiple technical issues, to the Friday afternoon edition of Decision Points. As always, we'll be bringing you the most important stories that you should be forming opinions on to arm you with the truth, which you can use to form and share your own opinions. Today, we'll be providing you with up to the minute updates on Greta's voyage to Gaza, and let you know about a monumental decision that just came through from the UN relating to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and share with you some important social media clips to educate you on the past, present, and future surrounding the occupation and related to the war crimes in Palestine. As a quick note, I want to proudly say that today is our first concurrent live stream on YouTube and Rumble, done through Restream.io, and that is the curveball that precipitated all the mistakes I made trying to get this live, but we're living and learning and improving each time. But yeah, I guess we'll see how this works out. I can already tell on Rumble the title and description's messed up, but I can fix that afterwards. So hopefully everything else will go well, but stay tuned and we will see. Anyway, I'm looking forward to comparing apples to apples, how Rumble does on views versus how YouTube does on views when they're both live concurrent with almost the same title and description. They soon will be after the broadcast, but anyway, it'll be an interesting experiment to conduct. Also curious about any copy strikes based on the intro music that we played, so stay tuned. Anyway, yeah, we will compare those two later. But yeah, thanks to all of you who are tuned in and watching us in our journey as we seek to be the change in the world that we've been waiting for. Anyway, on Wednesday, when we covered the launch of the Gaza Flotilla with humanitarian aid going to Gaza with Greta Thunberg on board, yeah, that was a big deal. They've been moving. They have continued to move. Among those on board, as I said, is climate activist Greta Thunberg with a crew of 11 from around the world. I think there was a member of the cast from a show that's going to escape me now, but anyway, they're on a small boat named the Madeleine. And today, we're going to return to this mission to update you on what's been happening since that launch and where their story is headed next. So on June 5th, the Madeleine responded to a distress call, this is interesting, of a boat sinking off the Libyan coast. And let me see if I can pull up the voyage chart for you real quick, because this is interesting. Actually, the link is in our description, so I will go to our post on it. And yeah, if you go to, and we'll include this eventually on our post as well, but if you go to the Greta Goes to Gaza clip, currently available only on Rumble, and click on show more, there's a click in the description for the tracker. Okay, so let's switch over to that tracker now. Okay, screen on screen. Wait. Oh no, she's gone. That's weird. Normally you see. Uh, Unfortunately, folks, late breaking update. Greta Thunberg's entire trip to Gaza has been deleted from the history books. How is that possible? Like literally, I was just here. If I open up another screen that was showing it, I don't know what that means. I mean, obviously, it's just some sort of a technical difficulty, but that's super weird. I mean, she should be on her way to here, but okay. Oh, and you can't see my cursor because it's hidden. But yeah, well, just take my word for it. I guess I can use. No, I can't reach that far. Anyway, she was coming in straight line to the Gaza Strip, and there was like a circular thing, and then she kept going, which was really weird. And then as I was doing the research for updates on what was happening to her, it turns out that that they heard a distress call that was close to them, which I'm sure that they'll release a video of this because it's super interesting. But anyway, they rescued 4 Sudanese men who had jumped into the water as the Libyan Coast Guard approached, fearing arrest from them. So anyway, apparently Greta and crew saved these guys, and that will just add to their saga. Yeah, I guess the Madeleine, which is their boat, issued a plea to Italy, Greece, and Malta to allow these migrants safe passage and disembarkation. So anyway, minus that little adventure, they're now continuing on their way, and they're headed to Israel. Um, yeah, so during the voyage, the crew reported drones flying overhead, which is what we covered last time. It turned out to not be Israel, so they breathed a sigh of relief and continued on, and then they had that Sudanese adventure. So the drones ended up being the Greek Coast Guard and claimed responsibility, but there was no attack, no bombs like the last voyage from last month, so that's good. But despite that not being related to Israel, Israel did send them a message to make things absolutely clear, and that is that if the boat attempts to dock in Gaza, they will stop it. There wasn't any clarification on exactly what stopping it means, but does not sound good, and it's not clear at what point they will, uh, start stopping it. Will they do like the last time where they bombed it outside of Malta, which you can still see on the map there, even though I can't reach it with the cursor. Yeah, Malta was where this expedition got bombed, and I think it was navigatable at that point, but I think it probably sank as well. But huge holes in the hull, and they had to be rescued. So I guess time will tell when Israel will attempt to stop, but as it stands now, if they have good weather, they'll get there by tomorrow. So stay tuned for updates. Military officials told reporters that the Madeleine, quote, will not be allowed to dock or get close. So, again, what does close mean? I guess we'll find out. Stay tuned. They say they reversed an earlier decision to allow docking and they did that to avoid setting a precedent. So at one point, the powers that be, the ADL, ALD, said that they would allow docking, but now they're saying no, that would set a precedent and aid could continue to come, so now they're going to stop it. However, they're planning on doing that. So as of June 6th, the Madeleine is sailing off the southern coast of Crete, about 600 kilometers from Sicily. Weather permitting, as I said, they're expected to reach Gaza on or around June 7th. I'm going to update the tracker here. Yeah, that is so weird. I don't know why the previous progress isn't being marked, but anyway. On board, reportedly the mood is strong and hopeful. Videos show the crew swimming at sea, sharing meals, and reading aloud from Gaza journalists. Greta Thunberg has posted on this, and she said, "The moment we stop trying is the moment we lose our humanity." It sounds very Greta. I feel like she said that before. It might be an old quote. The goal of this voyage, she says, is not to deliver aid, but to force the world to look. And that is, what she's accomplishing here. Whether you're a fan of hers or not, I totally support this mission. At least it is a real issue that needs to be addressed and is horrific. And I think history will judge us all based on what we do and don't do here. So I support her in this endeavor, and yeah, I'm saddened by her deletion from the tracker. Hopefully she's out there somewhere. Anyway, on the topic that we'd like to for you to look at, because this is the transition. She wants the world to look, and now I'd like for you guys to look at some of the most jarring clips that we've seen online as we do our doom scrolling at night that give you kind of the landscape of some important issues that you should be aware of, some of them tying together. And anyway, let's walk through it together, and I'll pull up our screen here, and let's see what we want to look at first. There's really no rhyme. This is an unscripted portion. We showed some of the clips on the last video, which were really poignant ones. So if you did not see that one, I point you to our Rumble account to rewatch that video. But yeah, let's start at the bottom here. Yeah. Okay. And so this first one kind of goes to the state of affairs in the camps. And this is the prisons in particular. But actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm flip-flopping here. Let's go to the state of how the Israelis are treating prisoners in the Israeli prison systems. So we'll start with that one, and then we'll go to the concentration camp reference. So we'll take you to screen on screen. Here we go. Okay. So that, and my thing is not working well. All right, whatever. So anyway, so that's brutal, right? So they're beating them. They're making kind of subhuman, like you have to crawl on your hands and knees. You can't speak, and this has just been going on for the past 2 years. And if you want to see what that looks like, if you don't believe that that's actually what's happening, here is a clip which speaks to that. I'm in the way. So she's saying that she's excited to be involved in this very good mission. Do they have AC in there? Of course not. And if you look now at the beginning, you can see them crawling down there. So that's their current situation there. So anyway, just a visualization of what that looks like. But that is, similar to what we've seen in our historic views of World War II of people in concentration camps. Um, I won't go into this, but this is a Jewish individual in Israel complaining about the selling of settlement homes only to Jewish people, which is discrimination. So, as I said in the last video, there's a ton of very heroic Jewish people who are suffering, I'm sure, a huge backlash from the powers that be, but people are stepping up on the Jewish side of things very strongly in support of the Palestinians and in support of, morality and fairness, and they're important to highlight. So, yeah, that was that video. This is, I think, from the Shah of Iran back I think in the 70s, so we'll drop into this. And he stops himself before he gets into the CIA and FBI. So that was, way back when, based on the coloring in that reporter's hair. I forget what his name is, but he's like a mainstay in a lot of. He's was a reporter for a long time, probably 30, 40 years after that. So probably early 70s. But anyway, that's the Shah of Iran, just kind of saying it how it is without saying too much. I don't think maybe I'll play this, but not right now because we're talking about uh, the political lobby, right? So here is a little bit of comedic. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So I'll play this. This is on the topic of the lobbying power of Israel or the even the Israeli interests that are pulling the strings in Israel. I feel like it's not really fair to call it Israel just by itself. Yeah, this track APAC is worth following. They do a good job of tracking down all those candidates. Yeah. So that oh, and I closed the whole thing. Great. Yeah, so that's a pretty strong statement there. And true and scary, but that I think is the awakening that kind of the American public needs to realize is that we need campaign finance reform for a ton of reasons. There's, Israel isn't the only special interest group out there that is pulling strings, but I think they're the most successful by far, and I think it's something that we need to address for sure if we want to have control over things. And it has drawn us into so many wars that don't really make sense, and particularly as we're trying to get pulled into a war with Iran, who has never invaded anyone, is peaceful, coexists in Iran with all the cultures that are there, including 100 um, Jewish temples, synagogues. They're made out to be the bad guys so that they all bend the knee to Israel and cede territory without fighting back, without sending money to the groups that are resisting. It's not in our interest, and it's something that we need to figure out and to educate people on. And if you have any doubt about whether maybe that's an isolated case, it isn't really how candidates are bought and sold. That one comment he made about the $100 million gets them, hundreds of billions of dollars, and that being a great ROI. That's a hard-hitting comment. But there was just a couple days ago. This is the mayoral race in New York. Because New York, mayor of New York, that makes sense. But that's legit. She goes back. Nice. Who cares? Bonus points. But uh but yeah, that's wild. And then actually I was curious where this happened. Like was this at like a Jewish synagogue? Why is that like such a question? But no, this is just the NYC Democratic mayoral debate. Just full stop. Very strange. And so at that point too, I was doing some research on this, and let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it was. Okay. Yeah. Just some of these comments here. Wait, are we supposed to be against that guy that wants to do his job? And then the comment below that, you're supposed to call him an anti-Semite and a Hamas supporter now. And then the guy below him, all hail King Netanyahu. P.S. Please don't bomb my house. So those are the comments. Even 10 minutes, sure. Okay. So I got to move things along, but anyway, we'll play more videos at another time. But this is just those are just some things that I thought would be interesting for people to be aware of. If you do want to see political videos like this on Instagram, you actually have to go into the settings. So just do a Google search. I don't have those steps memorized, but that's all this stuff is being hidden from you. Same thing, they also hide like graphic violence as well. So it's not totally unreasonable, but just a little sus. Anyway, it's a dark rabbit hole. I didn't play the video of this father holding his son while there was like shooting going on outside. There's like terrible, terrible stuff, but I feel like if you're not understanding enough about what's going on there to take action, like you kind of need to take a look because this stuff is being done in your name with your money, and if you don't have enough feeling about it to stand up, I think you need to kind of look at it face on before you just ignore it and act like it's not a big deal because it represents us. So one last thing before we close things out, I'd like to give one last update on what happened this week at the UN. This actually happened on Wednesday when we were doing our last episode. And on Wednesday, a draft resolution calling for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza failed to pass the UN Security Council on Wednesday after the United States cast its veto, blocking the initiative backed by all 10 elected members of the Council. And the U.S., for those who don't know, is a permanent member of the UN, and I think there's 4 permanent members. If any of them say no, that veto cancels it. So that is pretty impactful. The text, co-sponsored by Algeria, Denmark, Greece, Guyana, Pakistan, Panama, Republic of Korea, Sierra Leone, Slovenia, and Somalia, collectively known as the E10, received 14 votes in favor, with the U.S. casting the lone veto. As one of the Council's 5 permanent members. And as I said, that's enough to cancel it. So yeah, that negative vote automatically blocks any resolution from going forward based on our position there. Huge loss. This was something that was what was needed. It was the solution, the silver bullet to fix things. Had it been adopted, the draft would have demanded an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, end quote, to be respected by all parties. So I'm gonna now play a video of that hearing, including the vote, in the comments by the U.S. Representative Dorothy Shea, who tries to justify her vote, and then you hear a back and forth about that from Pakistan. So let's take a look at that now. She just voted no. I'm surprised. Hmm. What a hero. Representing us. Hmm. With the truth. With a lie. Hmm. Defend itself from children. Hmm. But we can't just give them food. Yeah, it's their fault. They're not even fighting. Which the terms are give up your land. So just accept the terms. Come on, guys. Stop fighting. And we define fighting as feeding your children. Um, anyway, of particular note in this video is Dorothy Shea. Uh, oops. Is Dorothy Shea's disingenuous argument that claims that the U.S. couldn't accept this because it doesn't call for an end of the fighting, which is kind of silly because that's what a ceasefire is, right? So she's saying, oh, we couldn't possibly do it because it's not ending the fighting. So that's disingenuous, aspect to it. Part one. She also claims that the UN is getting involved and in a way that's getting in the way of the ceasefire deal, as if the U.S. was the one who was kind of helping get this across the finish line, when in reality, the ceasefire deal, as it's defined by the one that but by Israel that the U.S. is pushing for, requires concessions to give up the land. So it's basically saying, oh yeah, just give up more land, and then that's the end of the ceasefire until we start up a new ceasefire. Really, doing this through the UN is the only fair broker available, and it's just a disingenuous argument that she's making, and no one else is buying it. It was 14-1. So anyway, she's basically trying to railroad Palestine into giving up more land to Israel. And Israel is actively committing war crimes as found by the ICC. She is enabling the war crimes and ensuring that their ability to continue to push them forward to get what they want, to use them for benefit. The position is effectively enabling ongoing hostilities and exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. And just as a footnote, this veto here marks the fifth time the U.S. has blocked a U.S. ceasefire resolution since the conflict escalated in 2023. And then lastly here, speaking of war crimes, on November 21st, 2024, the ICC issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. the court stated that there are reasonable grounds to believe that they bear criminal responsibility for the following. Excuse me. For war crimes, including the use of starvation as a method of warfare, which has only been escalated since then. The blockade is letting even less food through to the point where they're eating only one meal every 2 days. Other citations there are crimes against humanity, such as the murder, persecution, and other humane acts committed between October 8th, 2023 and at least May 20th, 2024, but we know that continued and only got worse since then. These warrants obligate the 124 ICC member states to arrest Netanyahu and Gallant if they enter their territories, which Netanyahu, came to the U.S., has come many times to ask for more money for the bombs, and obviously we did not arrest him, unfortunately. The United States, in response to this, did not arrest Netanyahu, but has imposed sanctions upon 4 ICC judges involved in authorizing the investigations. This is the most Gestapo, authoritarian, backwards move, and this is how we're proceeding. So if nothing else, I guess the bright side of this is we're exposing what's wrong and who's doing the wrong in our nation. So as we circle the wagons and move things in the right direction, we know what the bad guys are trying to do, we know how they're doing it, and we know who's on our side and who isn't. So there's now a trail that we can follow to see who has been doing the wrong, and use that to set things right. So yeah, that's about all I had to say on that. But yeah, they moved for sanctions because those actions infringed U.S. and Israeli sovereignty. So that makes sense. But anyway, as we finish here, I just want to circle back for what comes next for Greta. The Maldine could be intercepted, possibly boarded, detained, or towed, and that seems likely given Israel's most recent statements. Or it could become a turning point in global public awareness, which hopefully, with more people seeing this, creating content, sharing, commenting on, perhaps that will be the case. There will be more focus on it as one of the worst humanitarian crises in modern memory, which it certainly is. So here's the decision point, guys. What will you do while they sail? We got another 24 to 48 hours before they get there. Will you share this story? Will you comment? Will you reach out to your representatives? Or maybe create something on your own that others can share? Or will your silence speak for you? Because as you should know by now, indecision at a certain point becomes a decision. So put some thought into that. Guilt trips aside, have a great weekend, and please stay tuned. If the weather holds up, they'll be arriving tomorrow, Saturday, and we'll provide updates as that happens, or if they get stopped, check the tracker. We'll have a link in the description so you can see where they are at this point. Hopefully they've popped back up on the map.